Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, later on today, we have the NASCAR Cup Series VIva Mexico 250 at Adriano Hernandez Rodriguez, the 2.417 road course there in Mexico City. NASCAR Cup Series, first international points race since 1958. I know back in the day, they went to Suzuka, Japan twice. That was a non-points race at Exhibition end of the year. Personally, as I'm a NASCAR fan, I'm a fan of this. I'm a fan of taking NASCAR to different markets, different areas. Take it to the people. Mexico, there's multiple tracks you can run in Mexico. There's at least a dozen because of what the NASCAR Mexico Series does. We know F1 goes to this track. There's talks in Montreal, which we know and F1 goes and IndyCar goes. So why not go to these markets, bring in these international fans? So 250 is called, 242.9 miles to be exact, 100 laps, 3 stages, 20, 45, and 100. This is the second longest road course miles wise on the Cup circuit. So Chicago is 165 miles. It's 2.2 mile track. Sonoma is 1.99 mile track. We run 218.9 miles. Watkins Glen is 2.54. We run 220.5 miles. Coda is 2.4. The current layout. We run 228 miles. And then the Roval is 2.32. We run 252 miles. This one is going to be 242 miles. Now, one thing about this track here in Mexico City that I've heard some people talk about, like I think Hamlin talked about his podcast maybe, or somebody else mentioned it, and I actually brought it up to Todd Gordon on TMD the other morning, was it's kind of a hybrid of Sonoma and Watkins Glen. And what I mean by that, Sonoma is very technical. It's one of our most technical, along with Coda, technical tracks, but Watkins Glen is kind of the super speedways of road courses. And this has that long front straightaway, the second longest in NASCAR, behind Talladega. This front straightaway at Mexico City is longer than the front straightaway at Pocono. And so you get that high speed, and you get that short chute. That's kind of that secondary speed, part in Speedway, so it's like you get that kind of the technical part of the stadium area plus the high speed of those two straightaways. And so I kind of combined the results from Watkins Glen and Sonoma to kind of get an idea of, plus all the road courses. So when I go over these stats, the first one is going to be just Watkins Glen and Sonoma in the Gen 7 car. So obviously Shane Van Gisbergen won race. He finished second at Watkins Glen. Chris Buescher 4.3 and a win. This again, those two tracks only. Carson Hocevar won 2 races, averaged 10.0. Michael McDowell 10.16. Kyle Larson 10.5 and 2 wins. Ross Chastain 10.83. Joey Logano 11.5. Christopher Bell 11.6. Chase Elliott 12.0 and AJ Allmendinger 12.16. I know we all look at Chase Elliott as this huge road course star. He really hasn't been in the last 18. There's been 18 races in this Gen 7 car on road courses. Chris Buescher right now is the road course king. Average finish 8.72 with a win. Chase Elliott's 10.23. Not bad, but just not the king with no wins. Tyler Reddick 10.72 with 3 wins. He actually leads the way with wins on the road courses in the Gen 7 era. Christopher Bell, 12.16 and 2 wins. Shane Van Gisbergen, 12.8 with a win. That went to Chicago. Kind of lumped the street course in with the road course because we only had that one street course. William Byron, 12.94 and 2 wins. Michael McDowell, 13.22 and a win. Austin Cindric, 13.5. Alex Bowman, 13.64 and a win. Ross Chastain, 14.22 and a win. Absolutely loved Ross Chastain on the Xfinity race yesterday. He is great on commentary. I love it. And I love his statement about Dover. He's like, yeah, I'll be in the 9 car at Dover. You think Denny's going to say anything nice about me? Because Denny's the guest commentator. Yeah, it's just gold when you do stuff like that. Because even like Denny talked about on his podcast when his baby boy was doing the first. I don't want a Chastain baby. So it's like they just kind of little shots back and forth. I love it. All right, now we know in the last couple years, these teams have gotten better with these cars. We know these drivers have gotten better with these cars. Driving these cars are different than driving the old car. The old car, you drove it off the right rear. This car, you kind of drive it off, I think this is the left front or something. So it's just a different feeling. Kyle Busch has talked about this as well. So as these teams have gotten better, I've decided to go ahead and do the last 6 road course races. So last year, then Coda this year. Because, the first 2 years, everyone was still learning. We kind of got it last year we kind of saw the cream rise to the top. And so I think even going forward, unless there's another change coming, you're going to see the same thing. It's like once these big teams get their engineers wrapped around this car and their arms wrapped around this car, it goes back to the haves and have-nots of the world. And I think if Todd Gordon even said on Late Shift about they should make changes to these cars every 3 or 4 years if they want to not have the elites become beyond the elites, overshadow all the other teams. And yes, that is a good thing, not a bad thing. So in the last 6 races, Chris Buescher 9.3 on all road courses will win. Tyler Reddick 9.3. Christopher Bell 10.83 in a win. Alex Bowman 10.83 in a win. Chase Elliott 11.5. Not bad still, but not what we knew of Chase Elliott back in the Gen 6 era. William Byron 13.0 in a win. Michael McDowell 13. Ross Chastain 13. Kyle Busch 13. And Todd Gilliland 14.5. So as we look at points after race 15, 11 races to go in the regular season, including Mexico City, 4 road courses: Pocono, Atlanta, Dover, Indy, Iowa, Richmond, and Daytona. We have what they call quote wildcard races, which I don't necessarily see them that way. We say anybody can win at Daytona. Well, the Daytona summer race and now August race in Daytona. That race has always had first-time winners. I think without doing all the research, I believe that race has had the most first-time winners ever in NASCAR history. So that race has always been known for the spectacular. It's not just because of this car. It's not just because of this era. It's always been that way. Iowa, Richmond, a couple short tracks. I know everyone talks about the short track package, not great. It's the worst thing ever in NASCAR history. Whatever, people just over-exaggerate some. It's not bad. It's just not great, if that makes any sense. To me, it's like, yes, there can be changes. Yeah, we can make improvements. Nothing's perfect, so everything can be improved. We can improve the intermediate tracks if they want. There's things they can do to improve everything. So I'm not the glasses half empty kind of guy all the time. I'm not always like negative like a lot of people are about this car and this road courses. I enjoy every NASCAR race. I find something during that race to find enjoyment from. It could be funnel leader, Martin Truex Jr. leading 393 laps of 400 at Charlotte Cook 600. I didn't write down my notes what I thought. I don't remember every single race like some of these people do, but I don't watch this race and go, well, 1985, the Cook 600 had this. 1992, it had this. No, people know. I don't do that. I don't watch these races. I watch the race. I find something during that race to enjoy about it, and I continue watching it. And if for some reason I don't find enjoyment, I don't like it, I turn it off. Very rarely do I do that. For example, I had the Xfinity race on in the background. I didn't get a chance to watch the last 20 laps of it. I know who won. I know what happened. I'm still watching because I find enjoyment in it. 11 races left, 9 different winners. Can we get to 17 different winners this year? 16 different winners? Anything's possible. I think we have the tracks to do it. We have the drivers to do it. So right now, William Byron leading the points with 1 win. Kyle Larson with 3 wins in second. Denny Hamlin third with 3 wins. We know he's going to drop. Getting the waiver of missing Mexico City to the birth of his child. Congratulations to them. Unfortunately, there's a group of people out there that think he should just buck up and be there. Kid was born on Wednesday, race is Sunday. Get your ass to Mexico City. I disagree with that. I'm glad NASCAR has the waiver system. I'm glad that NASCAR has put in place where these drivers, Connor Zilic when he was injured, other drivers over the time when they've been injured, they don't have to put family and health aside just to race. there's a group of people that hate the playoffs. That's fine. That's your option. But here's the one thing about the playoffs that we didn't have back in the day, the good old days. Half the field's coming in. Of course, they're going to throw yellow. If you were hurt or needed to miss a race for a birth of a child or whatever, you didn't miss a race. You had drivers getting in cars with broken necks. You had drivers getting in cars with broken legs. With this and that injury, no one talked about concussions till Dale Jr. But you had these drivers who honestly should not have been out there. Making them get in and out of the car get out of the car during the race to let somebody go out there to race for them because they could not race, but they needed to get the points. We saw that more times than not. How many times did that person, whomever it was, risk death, broken neck, paralyzed, to go out there just to get some points? It's just that because they had to start the race. Yeah, no, I think we're in an era with the playoffs. I think it's perfect to do this kind of stuff. Christopher Bell with 3 wins. Now, in 5th place right now is Chase Elliott, plus 142 to the cut line. Tyler Reddick, plus 138 to the cut line. Then Ryan Blaney, Ross Chastain, Joey Logano, each with a win. Bubba Wallace, plus 61. Now, last week, Bubba Wallace was plus 58, so he gained on that. The week before, Bubba was plus 38, so he's gaining away from that cut line. Chase Elliott plus 41, Chris Buescher plus 20, Alex Bowman plus 13, and then Ryan Preece and Kyle Busch are literally tied for that last playoff spot. And then we have Austin Cedric and Josh Berry, both with wins, so they're in the playoffs technically. Now, right now, if we had a 17th different winner, or if Chase Elliott was able to win the regular season with no wins, the first winner out would be Josh Berry. So could be a battle there if we get down to Daytona and there's 16 different winners already. That could be a hell of a battle. Somebody above the cut line could win their way in. Somebody could win their way in as long as they're above somebody with a win. There'd be so many more storylines for it. Right now, 18 points, Carson Hocevar minus 18, AJ Allmendinger minus 18, sitting in 19th. This next group, they're almost grouped together there. Ricky Stenhouse minus 16, Eric Jones minus 36, Zane Smith, Michael McDowell each minus 37, Ty Gibbs, Judd Hunter Nemechek, Austin Dillon each minus 52, Todd Gilliland minus 57, and Daniel Suarez minus 68, and then Justin Haley, Ty Dillon, Noah Gragson, Brad Keselowski, Shane Van Gisbergen, Riley Herbst, Cole Custer, and Cody Ware rounds out the top 36. Now, there's been talk of obviously Suarez winning the race at Xfinity race at Mexico City. Obviously, Suarez is in the race. Shane Van Gisbergen is in this race, and if they win, they're in the playoffs. That's what the rule is. Right now, Shane is 33rd. Suarez is 28th. I know a lot of people despise that. They want rules made to keep that from happening. Special note. And I actually did some research. That's why this video is a little bit late going out. So, since the playoffs began, 2014, this is when we started with the first ever Championship 4. In every one of those seasons, so what is that? 10 years? 10 seasons? 2 times has somebody after race 15, so this is race 16 of the year, after race 15, only 2 times has somebody made the top 8, made the round of 8 that was outside. Oh no, sorry. Only 2 times has somebody outside the top 16 made the round of 8. So after race 15, where the points fell, only 2 times has any driver of those drivers was outside the top 16 at race 15 made the round of 8 in the playoffs. So the Harrison Burtons that won from the 30th and made the playoffs, and those kind of guys. Nobody outside the top 16 in points after race 15 has ever made, only 2 people have ever made the championship 8, the round of 8. So you don't have guys winning, winning. So they're 28th in points. They win a race, make the playoffs, and they go to win the championship. That doesn't happen. Only one time as a driver, not in the top 20 in points after race 15, win a championship. And that was at 2015 with Kyle Busch. We know he won all those races after getting the waiver. Only 2 times in 10 years has a driver not in the top 7 in points after race 15 went on to win the championship. So the idea that somebody can be 28th, 30th in points the entire season, win a race, make the playoffs, and go on and win the championship, it's never happened. It doesn't happen. It's not like it happens every single year. I know a lot of people, when they complain about the playoffs, they revert back to, 2024. Joe Logano, 17 points. But he actually wasn't. Non-playoff points, yes, but that's not how they race. Even the teams have told you that the strategy would be way different if they didn't have the playoffs. So let's just get that crap out of the way. So if Shane wins this, if Daniel Suarez wins this, oh, by the way, if Daniel Suarez wins this, it's not rigged. If you watch the Xfinity race with 16 to go, the 3 best cars besides the 9 got taken out in an accident. Oh wait, it's staged, that's right. NASCAR is like WWE. It's staged. So they staged for Connor Zellage to hit the curb, lose control, take out the 88, and then, or take out the 19, and get the, what? NASCAR staged that? Oh, come on, people. That's like saying NASCAR staged DI 1 in 1 2 2001 Daytona 500. Come on, people. There's no conspiracy theory here, because if NASCAR was rigged, the drivers would have to know. The crew chiefs would have to know. The car owners would have to know. NASCAR officials would have to know. There's so many people that would have to know to rig a NASCAR race. You don't think over the years that one of them people would have created a generic fake account on social media and just started spilling their shit? Come on. You can go to Gmail and create a new email address. You can go to X, create a new account, name it whatever you want to name it, and you could just spill your guts about NASCAR being fake and rigged, and this is who rigs it, and this is what the script is, and all that crap. They couldn't get back to you. So why do people think that this would happen? I mean, come on. Anyway, moving on from that. NASCAR Fantasy Live lineup for Mexico, the VIva Mexico 250 today. Obviously, I'm going with some NASCAR road course guys. I'm going with Tyler Reddick, I'm going with SVG, AJ Allmendinger, Christopher Bell, Chris Buescher are my starting lineup. I got Chase Elliott in the garage. As for my 4 picks to win the VIva Mexico 250, obviously I have to go with Shane Van Gisbergen. Obviously I have to go with AJ Allmendinger, 2 of the best road course racers in NASCAR. Chris Buescher, we know what he's done in road courses. And then Christopher Bell is my 4th pick. I didn't go with Chase Elliott because he hasn't won in this car yet. Tyler Reddick, I was really thinking about it. Almost did. But the fact that Reddick at Watkins Glen and Sonoma hasn't been as good as he has been at other tracks kind of made me step away from that. I went in and put him in my fantasy lineup, but we'll see what happens. On that fantasy side, I got Chastain over Busch, SVG over Suarez, McDowell over Bowman, and Elliott over Gibbs. That is the VIva Mexico 250 later on today for Mexico. First ever NASCAR Cup Series race from Mexico City. I hope this track stays on the circuit. The Xfinity race was absolutely awesome. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show, and don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.